Hello, this is Dennis Swindle, minister with the Milan Church of Christ, but don't let that scare you. I am relatively harmless. Anyway, this has nothing to do with a Bible class lesson or a sermon. This is a totally different subject. And let me tell you how this little video came about. This morning, which is I think the 27th day of April 2020, was the first morning that I wore a mask when I entered a Kroger store to go shopping. Now, I know many of you have been wearing masks whenever you go out in public or to a store or whatever for weeks, maybe longer than that. And I haven't. But I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I grew up watching these Westerns and other shows that have these bank robbers wearing these masks. And maybe that just gave me a phobia of masks. I'm not sure why. Although I did love the Lone Ranger, and the mask he wore. That was a good thing. But other than him, just people wearing masks. I mean, and Batman, I had a thing for Batman too. And Robin too. I thought Robin looked pretty cool there. But anyway, so knowing that I was going to wear a mask this morning, I thought, okay, what do I wear? What do I wear? And so let me just run through some of the ideas, and then I'll finally reveal the actual thing that I did wear when I went into Kroger's. First of all, I'm a cheapskate. If you don't believe that, ask my wife. She'll tell you. Let me adjust this a little bit. So I thought I'll go the minimalist approach, and so as not to draw undue attention to myself. But then I thought maybe it would. So here was my first idea: to take a Kleenex, place some Scotch tape on it, place it over my bridge of my nose and across my cheeks, and go in Kroger's looking like this. Now, this actually is not a bad idea. Now, of course, some people would, I don't know, they'd tuck it in somehow, or maybe take the bottom to their neck. I don't know. The only thing about this, if you breathe in a lot, you breathe in, I'm sure, all these microfibers from the Kleenex, and that's probably not good for your lungs. So I thought about looking like this, and if there's a breeze, I mean, it blows this thing totally sideways. It could even blow it off. And besides, I looked in a mirror with this thing on, and I thought I looked like one of the people in the Middle East, one of these ladies who is engaged to be married. They're hiding their face into the wedding day, and I thought, I don't want to look like that. So I'll tell you, see, I'm breathing this in. I tell you, I rejected, wow, pull my skin off. I rejected this idea because you can breathe this thing in. You don't want to do that. So I thought, okay, next best idea, do the same thing, except this time with a paper towel. Paper towel. Now, I don't know about you. I think this looks a little bit better, a little more respectable. But the nice thing about this, no matter how much you breathe it, you're not going to suck this thing into your mouth or up your nose or down your throat or anything like that. Now, breezes can affect this, undoubtedly. Woo! But I thought, okay, I could go in like this. And to tell you the truth, again, I'm a cheapskate, because I thought, okay, what do you do when you have used a face mask? Now, what is that? Oh, it's my alarm clock, sorry. It's saying quit doing what you're doing and do something worthwhile. Okay, well, anyway. So being the cheapskate I am, I thought, I'm not going to throw this thing away after I use it. This is reusable, right? As long as the Scotch tape, continues to adhere to your skin, you're fine. But the great thing about this, when you're not using it to go into a Kroger store, you can just take the tape off. Well, you keep the tape on, you just attach it to your throat somewhere. And what do you got? Instant bib. Instant bib. You don't even need napkins or anything. You just use this. You can wipe your nose, blow your nose, wipe your mouth, chin, whatever, mustache. So yeah, this thing I think is one of the finest ideas. I would try to actually patent it. However, I believe someone else probably has got in ahead of me, so my millions will have to wait. But this, seriously, I thought about this. I thought about this morning for, I don't know, all of 2 or 3 seconds. But I thought, what if people laugh? And I thought, maybe I'll go something a little more minimal, because the problem with the Kleenex and the paper towel, they're just so obvious. I mean, they're right out there in people's faces. So I thought, I have a new idea. All right. Here was my next thought. I will go with the inventive look. The inventive look. All right. Now, I would wear this. Now, I couldn't say it honestly, obviously, so I would have to say it tongue-in-cheek. People would say, sir, what are you doing? I'd say, I have my facial protection on. And they'd say, how is that facial protection? I'd say, this thing here, it absorbs my breath. I mean, coming out of my nose, my mouth, it absorbs it. So my breath is going no farther than this. This has a special absorbent material in it. And of course, most people just shake their heads and walk away. And I guess I would understand that. So I thought, okay. And I looked in the mirror with this thing and I thought, okay, it doesn't quite look convincing enough. It needs to be beefed up. So what do you do when you need something like this on steroids? All right. Option 4. Next option up. Going forward with this. I thought, okay, let me wear this if I have enough. I don't think I have enough hair to hold this thing on. Here we go. Now, I could wear this, and I thought about this too, because people would say, it looks like you have some fancy stereo studio headphones on, and I'd say, yes, but don't forget about this. And they say, that's just a little microphone. I'd say, no, it isn't. And again, this is tongue-in-cheek. I'd say, no, this is a little vacuum cleaner. Vacuum cleaner. I can hear it go. So when I'm breathing out, it's taking all the air and bringing it right in here and storing somewhere behind my back. And they'd say, well, I don't hear a vacuum. I said, that's what the earphones are for. I can hear it. If I didn't have these, I wouldn't know it's working. So I have these so I know this thing is sucking up all the air. So I don't know if they believe me or not. Well, I don't think anybody would. So I rejected this idea after a good 3 seconds. And then I thought, okay, let's go with the traditional dust mask, which probably, I don't like these things. I really don't. But I'll tell you what, if you get this thing just right, you get it backwards, you can actually turn it into like a, well, something like that. Anyway, so I thought I could, wear the traditional dust mask. I don't know. I'd say maybe a third of Americans, when they go out, they just wear a traditional dust mask. They're cheap, but there's no style. I mean, it's just cheap. It looks cheap, doesn't it? Doesn't it? I think it looks cheap. Well, anyway, it is cheap. So I thought, okay, I'm going to go with something a little more stylish. I have to tell you, back about 3 years ago, when I go out in the wintertime and I walk in the wintertime, sometimes if it's windy, if the wind chill is down, I like to cover my face pretty much. Well, this doesn't cover my face, but I got this thing from China. In fact, I got, I think, a pair of them for 76 cents, shipping including. 2 of these things. Had I known back then that we were going to have the coronavirus today, I would have ordered 1,000 of these things and could have sold them for $1 a piece and made a fortune almost. Well, I wouldn't have done that. But anyway, look at this. Okay, it's backwards. It's backwards. That's the filtering material. Wow, wearing this thing backwards would not be good. It would look horrible, wouldn't it? All right, so here we go. Now we have something much more stylish. Not true, you have these little gaps here, so this thing is not going to keep outside air from getting in. But if I understand correctly, the main purpose of people wearing masks is so that when they exhale the air, it kind of stays confined here instead of going out into the faces and the lungs of the people who are walking right by you in the shopping center. All right, so this thing is more stylish. And I looked in the mirror for this quite a while, making adjustments there. No, that wouldn't quite work. Okay, and this, no, too much cover. Okay. So I did give this some thought, and for more than 3 or 4 seconds, okay? But then I thought, and I had a great idea. I thought, okay, let's wear my main face mask that I wear in the wintertime. Check this baby out for coverage. I mean, just check this baby out. This thing is pretty awesome, pretty cool. I mean, not only do you have a face mask, now you'll see that there is one defect. It has a hole. Of course, I suppose you could do something, I don't know, maybe use a hole to look out of. I can't see. Can you see me? I'm somewhere now. But it does have a hole. But I thought the cool thing about this mask, you actually look like that, I think it's a villain on one of those animated shows, the Avengers. I don't know. I really don't get into that. But you can always, of course, plug up this little hole with something like this, and so you just go in a store looking like this. The only problem that I foresee looking like this is people will either assume you're an alien or you're totally irrational. And so, doing this might might get you put into a psych ward of some kind. So anyway, but I like this. Hey, I'll tell you what, seriously, in cold weather, this thing is what you wear over your face. All right, but I thought, okay, there's two other options. One of them is really extreme. The other one is just cool. So this is the coolest option of all. I mean, this is check this out. Check this out. You gotta see this. All right, here we go. And I wear this a lot, so I'm used to it. At least I wear it in the summertime when I'm on my gold wing. Here we go. Get that fastened there. Now, when you get out of your car, you put this on immediately. And you keep it like this. And by the way, this is not a vacuum here. This is actually a microphone, so I can talk to people on the CB or whatever, or my passenger. But anyway, so when you go in the store, you do this. You pull this down. Now, if you need to talk to somebody, you can just temporarily lift off this right here and talk to them. But if you really just need to seal yourself off from everybody, here you go. Here you go. Is that not cool? And if you really want to look just super cool, when you go into a store with this thing, you do this. Is that not cool? Is that not cool? I mean, is that just not the coolest? I mean, you look like an alien or something, or a Superman. I don't know, but this is the coolest idea yet. And I'm tempted to do it. I haven't done it yet. And I didn't do it this morning, to be totally honest with you. But I think this is the coolest idea, to walk into a store with this. And this thing really does. It keeps your air, your breath in there. And it really keeps, I mean, people, believe it or not, I would actually dare someone to sneeze in my face once I have that down. Sneeze all you want. I don't care as long as I have that down. But, okay. See if I remember to get this thing off. I hadn't worn it now since, I don't know, late last year. But this is just cool. What a cool idea, huh? I don't know why more people don't wear these things in cars. If I'm not mistaken, about 80% of all vehicular fatalities are the direct result of head injuries. You wear this, baby. I'm not saying you can't hurt your head, but it's a lot harder, because this thing is hard. All right. The last and final option, and this would be for if you just really, really go the extreme. I've only tried this on once. It didn't fit well. Maybe it'll fit a little better. But if you just, everything else fails, you just stick this. What do you think? What do you think? Well, you'd have to cut some eye holes, obviously, for this baby. But hey. Well, now, the option that I settled for this morning, you probably guessed it, yes, this right here. And I didn't feel too foolish. Now, the reason I made this video is not to poke fun. I know the COVID-19 virus is no laughing matter, but sometimes we do have to just kind of relax, let our hair down if we have any hair to let down. And here's hoping that maybe watching this brought you a chuckle or two. But far more importantly, I pray that you and yours are well and safe. And if you're a Christian like I am, I'm a minister. But far more important than being a minister is I am a Christian. And please keep praying for all of those, especially who are hospitalized, those who are on respirators. Pray for our doctors, our nurses, and all those assisting in the hospitals. The pressure on them is literally like a combat war zone. And we pray that with God's help, we'll be over past this in the next, very, very soon. And may God bless you.